If you're working abroad, meaning that you do not work from your native country, you are an outsider, you are somewhere trying the best as you can to make some cash, all right? These are the 5 things that I'm going to show you today that you're supposed to avoid them. And if you disregard this message, get what happens now? You're going to regret about it. And I'm saying this because I do receive a lot of DMs from people who are working in abroad and they're facing some challenges. And guess what, guys? You people from working in abroad, and by the way, this does not apply if you literally work outside the continent of Africa, or maybe say you work from Zambia, you're from Nigeria, or you're from whatever the thing, provided you're not at home, you're regarded as a diasporan. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, the 5 things that you should avoid. And by the way, you know what? You diaspora people are great people. You are known to like people's videos. And when I say like the video, you already know why we say we like the video. Why? Because you know the algorithms of the YouTube likes or suggest the video that is actually liked most. That's why I always insist, just like the video, just like the video. Go ahead. I know you people, you are so good. Go ahead and like the video and make sure that you subscribe. And by the way, stick around and watch this video to the end. Now, the point number 1, something that you're supposed to avoid. Don't start a business. Simple. There's no any other words that I can use to explain to you apart from don't start a business. You know why I'm saying so? Business is quite different from an investment. Why? Business is you working for the money. And business, it is a typical thing that you usually see in towns. For example, somebody selling cereals, somebody doing the farming somewhere, somebody doing the, you see yourself, people, maybe they have a shop, a supermarket, whatever. Those are called businesses. Don't start a business. And this is the reason why. Because for you to start a business, your presence is really needed. You have to be there. You have to always show up at every time. By the way, I always tell people, there's a difference between who runs the business and the dream of the business. If you are the dream of the business, you are the person who understands it in and out. And there is no way you can just dream a business, sell it to somebody, and you think they're going to take it the same magnitude and apply the thing that you would love it to apply to make sure that they actually actualize that business and they run the way you would like it to be. Just avoid it. Don't do it. You know why I'm saying so? Because for you to run a business, there is a 5-letter word that has to be involved that I hate most when it comes to money. Trust. For me, I do not engage trust when I'm dealing with money. I don't. I engage what we call the due diligence. I would rather go into, you may find somebody saying, hey, you don't trust me, you've known me for quite a while. Now, those are the people scam you in most of the time, where they manipulate you on the basis of, I'm your cousin, you know me for long, we've been born together. That's where the problems, those are the genesis of, whenever you hear somebody talking about the trust, because when you say trust, he is evoking or she's evoking the part of the emotion, the emotional part of you, not the logical part of you. But when somebody says, even if they're your brother, they say, hey, you know what, we want to buy this property, then you have to have what we call a written agreement and the due diligence. And that individual, they know very well how the world of the finance functions. So the moment now you engage trust, and if you forgot, you went out of the country and you forgot, integrity in Africa is still the same. In Kenya, we call it chapter 6. I don't know where it is in your constitution. In our constitution, it is in chapter 6. There is somewhere we say it's called about the integrity. The integrity part, it's a problem. And I think that is the problem that we do face in Africa. Integrity, it's not there. What do I mean by the integrity is not there? It is not there in the sense that, it's very hard to find somebody to trust. I'm not saying they're not there. There are very few to trust. And that's why you find some even suffer. Why? They suffer because we have a lot of people who in diaspora, they have a lot of money, but somebody is sleeping on his 40 million, 100 million, 20 million. That guy could have invested that money back home. But whom gonna be the eyes for that project? The person whom he relies on squanders everything. Can you imagine this? There is a fresh graduate who is about to graduate. He's an architect, he's an engineer. He knows how to draw very well in nice homes. This guy can invest. Therefore, this guy in abroad can actually invest, and that architect can actually get that money. But this guy is not investing. Why? There is no integrity. And you know what? The problem that we usually do in Africa is we blame our leaders. Oh, they don't have the integrity, they are corrupt, they are whatever. Let me tell you one secret. Leaders is just a reflection of how the society is. Have you ever gone into the in-roof just down below there? It's all about, what do you have for me to do this? What do you have to be? You see, that's a reflection. It's only that the leaders are the one who are seeing, or they are on the limelight. There are very funny thing that goes on in between here. Leaders are just the reflection. And there were ones like you gave them an opportunity. For example, if you take a typical guy who is corrupt in between, let's say somebody who running a very simple, business somewhere, maybe in the streets, and that guy is corrupt, and then that guy gets opportunity. He just magnifies what he used to do down below there. And let me tell you one secret. When it comes to Africa, there is a very great hypocrisy, and this is it. When a corruption does not favor you, or when a thing does not favor you, it's a corruption. But when it favors you, it's a connection. We see a lot of them bragging here on social media. They have a lot of money, but some of them are engaging in scrupulous businesses there. So if it does not favor you, it's a corruption. But if it favors you, it's a connection. That's a reality. The reason why you are bitter is because you're not part of it. But if you are there, you could not be saying like that. So if you can eradicate that hypocrisy deep inside of us, even the guys from abroad can invest in businesses. And obviously, you cannot compare the rate at which money can be made using a business and an investment. Investment actually is a slower way and is a selfish way. But a business is actually tend to be a bit generous. For example, if today I engage totally and overly on real estate and everything that like that, I don't need a lot of people to employ. I can employ one manager who can manage over 1,000 homes. True, because you just need to have an Excel sheet sit in your computer, or have a manager and a secretary. They have run my entire property. But when I have things like KFCs and what have you, I need human existence. I can employ a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? So do not start a business. I have seen a lot of people crying because of them starting a business. I know you are so much enthusiastic with starting a business. I know you would like to do that, but don't. Oh, Joseph, I have somebody whom I can trust at home. Don't. Oh, Joseph, I have a spouse. Don't. Put your money in an investment. Put your money in things like treasury bills, treasury bonds, money market fund. You don't need to call anybody back at home. You don't need to do anything. You can just invest on yourself. The money is making money for you. And then progressively, when time comes, you fly back home, you're going to do the businesses that you want. And if you don't know how to invest in those areas that I've said online, all those are treasury bills, treasury bonds, you can always contact me. My number is on the description of this specific video, and then we can talk the business, okay? Let's go to the next point. Do not share your earnings. Do not share your earnings. You know why? For example, let's say you share with your family members that you are making $4,500 $4,000 per month. So if you were to multiply this by the current rate right now is 132. I'm making this video on May of 23rd, 132. If you multiply this one is more than half a million. This is actually close to 600K, 600,000 Kenyan shillings. 600,000 Kenyan shillings, I'm telling you, that's a crazy money. Bearing in mind that we only have 1% of people in Kenya earning over 100,000. So this is over 0.5% or 0.001% people who are earning this amount of money per month. Now, you can just imagine this. Now, someone in Kenya will translate like, wow, 600,000 per month. Wow, if this guy can even borrow even 20,000, the guy cannot feel the effect. You can feel the effect. Why? You're actually earning 4,500 per month. Your rent is actually $1,200. They don't calculate that. This, if you multiply by the same 132, you get yourself, you're actually talking about 160,000 a month, 160K. Rent in Kenya, an average rent, and I said an average rent will cost you around 8,500. This is like 20 times what they are paying for their rent. They don't calculate that. Food, you put like $400. Maybe car, you put like $200. Maybe insurance, you put like $70. You put electricity, water, maybe $100. You put like whatever, because there are a lot of deductions. Maybe if you're working from the US and what. By the time you realize you're saving 1,200. 1,200, that's like 160K. 160K, family members have to be there, 10, 5, 15, whatever. By the time you realize you're saving nothing, or 20,000, you have nothing. Why? This problem came when you shared the what? By the way, this does not even apply only for those guys who are working in abroad. Even if you are within the country, thou shalt never share your income with anybody. Never. Let it be a mystery. If they happen to know it, let it be a mistake, and always deny. Because you see, there are people who can know it and help you. Probably you can. No, don't share. Don't share. For me, I can't, I don't, and I do not advocate for that. Let it be a secret to you. It will actually deter you from a lot of problems and a lot of things out there, because I have seen people suffering by the virtue of them sharing some of this income. And people will always refer to you. You're earning over 600,000 per month and you cannot even send me 15,000 a month. You are so mean. They don't even ask you, hey, how much do they even ask you, how much do you pay for your rent? How much do you pay your food? They do the calculation. They're like, what? They don't. Most of them, they just rotate around that much that you earn. And maybe don't blame them. Probably they're not informed. They don't know, because most of the people, if you're not there, they tend to think it's just a place you go and you start just making money anyhowly. Yeah, the American dream and what have you. Yeah, it's true. There are opportunities better than here. It's true, I don't disagree with that, but it needs effort, needs dedication, needs sacrifice. You know, sacrifice is all over the place. Even if you go to Luxembourg, I think it's the richest country on earth, and Luxembourg or Qatar, whichever. See, if you go to those places, they don't even have their things on the silver platter. They also work. If they don't mind those fuel, you know, the crude oil, like the Saudi Arabia. I mean, you have to work in any given way. You have to work. You cannot just say, oh, we are wealthy now, we can just shut those, you know, those places where we mine the fuel or whatever. No, you have to work at any given time. To sustain that kind of a lifestyle, there must be a consistency engagement. That is how it goes by. Point number 3, draw a line between your family members and your cash. This one I spend a whole time explaining it, but just to shed a little bit of light there is that you cannot mix a social life and a financial life. Those are two words that they don't mix up. There's like a water and oil. You don't mix them. They don't mix up. There is a relation between the two, but mixing them up, nah, it doesn't work. I'm going to give you a very simple story. I have a friend of mine who started a school. The guy has a problem with ladies and women and what have you. So the guy, what happens is that he started a school, and obviously most of his teachers were, you know, the ladies, you know, the secretaries, the bazaars and what have you. And you can just imagine what the guy used to do, you know, having relationship with like all of them. Then you can just imagine having a relationship with the bazaar, the one who receives the money. The moment you realize that there is a missing some few coins, then ask them, you just get yourself into a murky water. And for now, you can just imagine where the school is. It is not there. It is not in existence. Why? It just failed because you cannot run a school that way. You cannot even a school, but you cannot run any engagement as far as the finances, the social life, you're mixing them together. You cannot. And this is where you find some of the people actually argue innocently. You know, Joseph, I have a very good friend of mine. There was a lady whom I was having a conversation with. She's in Saudi Arabia, and she was like, you know, Joseph, I have a very good friend of mine. You know, we've been brought together. We share a lot. Before I even come to this place, she was so good. Actually, we could share anything that we have. So I was thinking that I can send my 200,000. She started a business because she's so good at making hair. And I was like, You know, it's good when you give a lady time to talk. So they express themselves. Then at the end of the video, don't do that. She's a great person. Oh, you would love to start a business with? Oh, she's a... Okay, fine. How long are you going to be there? I'm remaining 1 year. Then wait. Finish the 1 year. Go back home. You go start a business. Simple. Don't be naive in the world of finances. Be smart. And this is why I usually get discouraged when I see people getting scammed in these streets of the social media. Why? Because you don't even ask the real questions. I'm telling you, send me 100,000, then I'll be giving you 20,000 a day. Surely, that does not work. Don't send that money to me. Don't do exactly that. I'm not saying me, I'm saying that's what they say. You get what I'm saying? Somebody just approaches you in inbox. If you just want, if you have a deal and whatever, just say yes and then explain everything. Then they send you automated text there. They tell you invest this, do this, you'll be getting this, and then there you are. You're just rotating, and actually, you know, there's a very thin line between being greedy and aggressive. You know, you think you are aggressive. You're not aggressive. You are greedy, and that greed now takes you back to somewhere whereby you even lose the money. You risk the capital that you have. Anyway, let's go to point number 4. Do not share your next big investment move. Don't share. You know, most of the people, what they do is that you are out there telling them, hey, I want to set up a flat in, let me just use one of the towns in Kenya. You know, we'll set us a flat in Rongai, in Kitengela. Those are like satellite towns of a great city called Nairobi. See, I want to set up a flat there. I'm going to be worth like 40 million. I want to do this. How much will it cost to buy an apartment somewhere? It will cost you. Do you know, by the way, I would prefer to pay somebody. Do you know, I would suggest you pay somebody to inquire on the information, somebody who is very neutral to you, not even a family member, an expert, to explain to you how much it would cost to buy a 3-bedroom property, whatever, buy a bungalow, do this, rather than just sometimes even calling your family members. Because the moment they know, wow, that guy has 40 million, they want to buy an apartment, guess what they think? Like, if I can borrow just 500,000. But the moment you deduct 500,000 from a 40 million, it's no longer 40 million. You can't even buy that property. You get what I'm saying? So it is not good to actually share all this information. About the investment, you can share with your partners. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's some people you're supposed to be very keen and cautious. But even parents, there's some parents who are great and good. You can share a little bit of that information. But then if you realize there's some of the parents you find like they are, you take them with a pinch of salt. Then be cautious what information you're sharing. You might actually entangle yourself and get yourself into lots of problems. There's some parents who are very much entitled with the success of their kids. They dictate. It's true, yeah. They say, no, you can't buy that property. No, you can't. No, you can't buy that property in Kilimani. No, go ahead and buy a certain big chunk of land somewhere in like Kipia, like 30 acres instead of planking. Wow, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, some of the things that you understand that goes on in there, you can't even be shocked. You yourself, you've done your own calculation. If I buy a property in Kilimani worth 12 million, I put it on an Airbnb, that thing is going to give me like 80,000 a month, so I can do this and this and this. And then somebody's telling you, no, you see, with 12 million, you have yourself like 10 acres or 15 acres in Nyandarua. You go buy a piece of property there, piece of land there, and then now you do the calculation. You're like, no, should I buy the 13 acres? You can have a very big chunk of land that is doing nothing for you, but you can buy that property. You can resell it. Sometimes it's not good to overly share this information. Sometimes hold them towards you. Gonna save you a lot and big time. It's true. Whatever I'm sharing with you guys on this board, some of you may not understand what I'm talking about, but it's very real. Let's go to the last one. Never deny them an opportunity if you have any. If you have an opportunity that you can share with them, never deny them. If you know there is a way you can help your brother, if you know there is a way you can help your sister, support them. If maybe it's to take them somewhere, maybe to take them to a place where they can learn a skill. Some of you even pay me to talk to them. Wow, amazing. Support them. Support them. And if you realize there's some things that you cannot tell them, contract me, good Joseph. Tell me. Contract me. Tell me, hey, good Joseph, I want you to talk to my mom. I want to talk to my brother. I want to talk to... There was a lady who actually connected me with the mom. She was so bitter, but she told me, hey, you know what, good Joseph, you talk to her. I will talk to them. Sometimes I get even invited by family members when they realize there is some crisis and when they want a real conversation. Yeah, I remember there was a time I was invited in a round table with, I think it was 5 kids and 2 parents, and we had a very, very tough conversation. And wow, that was I loved that family, by the way. That was a great one. I want another one like that. That's a so great one. Maybe if you'd like me to come to you, not really your home anyway. I don't know how safe I can be to your home, but if you can meet somewhere and then have a discussion, not because that I know everything, but I have something that we can share and have a discussion about, so that at least we, just like an iron sharpens another iron, so we can learn from each other. So it doesn't have to be physically. It can be online. It can, just find a way of learning. If not me, then you can choose somebody else. But the point is just learn. Just learn and understand them. So the thing is, if you have opportunities that you can share with them, share with them, support them. And I always tell people is that if now you're in a situation whereby now you're okay, you realize the investments are doing fine, financially everything is in order, turn back and try to support them. Let not be you only one who says in that. There's some people who deny the others just to make sure that you're the only one who says. Come on, you're actually having a lot of responsibilities, because if something comes from home, you're the one to do that. But if you empower people, your brothers, your sisters, you're going to share all those responsibilities. Some of the problem they'll be solving by themselves there before even they inform you. It is true. It is true. That is exactly how we do. All right. So anyway, guys, guess what? That's the end of my video. And this is Good Joseph speaking. I do post a video each and every day, and it's all about finances and investment. And if you've managed to watch my video until this particular point, say I did. That's so amazing. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Make sure that you subscribe and also grab that number of mine if you'd like my services as well. See you in the next one.